Now, continuing from our last video, what we're going to do in this video is try to get that bounce onto the bullets and kind of change the way our game looks and feels. Let's go to our code. I noticed that in the last video I didn't rename that, which is a big no-no. So I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to say killed by bullets. It's really important to name correctly all of our events, all of our scripts. Otherwise, we're just going to end up in a huge mess when we're trying to figure out when something goes wrong and why it went wrong. So in order to get bouncing on our bullets, we're going to have to go to the bullets themselves, go to the physics of the bullets, and then switch on affected by gravity to yes. Now all that's going to do is when the bullet comes out of the monkey, it's going to come out and then go towards the floor. Now we're going to have a problem here because, of course, if we go back to the properties, the players group over here, we can see that our bullets and tiles don't collide. Now in this case, if the bullet and the tile don't collide, as it falls out of the monkey, it's going to go straight through the tiles. Let's just have a quick look of that. I'm going to press OK here. We'll just test that so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. So we've switched on gravity for the bullet. The bullet is now going to not fly in a straight line out of the monkey, but come out, then fall to the floor. So if you have a look over here, you can see that's a much more realistic style bullet, but it's not really good because now if I shoot, it just kind of goes through the tiles, kind of ruins the whole effect. So what we need to do is go back to edit groups, go to our players, which is the bullets group, and make sure we switch on tiles. Now tiles and bullets are going to collide with each other. Let's just go there. Okay. Test game again. Now let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So we've got the bullets coming out of the monkey and just bouncing. So what we can now do is kind of use that bounce kind of in a cool way, and we can kill enemies that are walking on platforms because we now know the bullet's going to roll on the floor. If we go back over here to our physics, what we can do is just have a look through these tabs over here where we switched on gravity. We're not going to mess around with the heaviness, but what we can do is actually make it quite bouncy. So in this case, what it says here, a value of 1 means that the ball or a ball will bounce exactly the same height from which it dropped. So what we'll do is we'll just switch that up to around 0.6, test the game and see what happens. And I've got a feeling we might have to mess around with the amount of time that the bullet's on the screen. So currently speaking, the bullet is killed after 0.5 seconds. So let's have a look. And you can see that that's quite good. I'm going to do two things to this bullet. Number one, if we go to our monkey, go to the events and make sure we're in the shooting, that thing that we spent so many videos trying to fix and do. What I'm going to do now, because we've got a bounce, I'm going to slow it down somewhat. So I'm going to slow it down to 60. We'll see if that's okay. And now I'm going to keep the bullet on the screen for 0.75 seconds, which doesn't seem a lot, but it's 50% more than we had before. So with those two changes, what I hope now to see is a bullet that bounces on the floor, stays on the screen for just a little bit longer, and also doesn't fly out so far from our monkey before it hits the floor. And that should really change the way that this game works. So let's have a look at the bullets. Yeah, they're much better. Kind of more classic platform shooting. So you can see the bullets coming out and bouncing. The 0.75 is actually quite cool, as the bullet kind of stays on the screen a little bit longer. I don't want to change it to 1 second because I think that's too much. But you can now see, rather than me having to really precisely aim where I shoot, I can just kind of fly by and throw bullets on platforms and they kind of take care of the robots themselves. That's kind of the effect I wanted to have. And you can see that, yeah, it's a much nicer game to play now. It kind of behaves a little bit more like an old-fashioned game. So hopefully you can use this video to change your platform game shooting. Of course, you can ignore this video and just keep your shooting like the last video and have the bullets flying straight out. So it's really your choice.